Here's why today's podcast is going to be amazing. We're going to have a very special guest at the end of the show. Okay? Very exciting, right? This isn't a troll. She's going to be awesome. It's going to be fantastic. So I'd like you to do this. Now that we're on video. Rye, if I'm not mistaken, do you not have a picture of yourself and her?
I do.
So do me a favor. Get it up on your phone.
All right.
And then just quickly flash it to the camera as a little tease of who's coming in just a minute, okay?
Let me just get to that
Okay,
photo.
no problem. And we're very excited to have her. And I'm going to play a game with her that I kind of came up because she's from this country.
Yes.
Lives in a different one. And I've been there for 24 hours where she lives.
Go.
So I just want to see if I'm, in. Okay, you ready, Ryan?
Am I flashing my camera?
Coming down in 3, 2, 1. Okay, there you go. So that's our special guest. She'll be joining us very soon. Got a new show coming out.
Yes.
We'll get to that. But we always talk about being bad parents and what it's like with our kids and stuff. But what if we just took just a little bit of a break and thought about our childhood for a second, okay? Because I like to play games, and I think this is going to be a fun podcast. So let's not do anything serious or wacky. And I got because I think we were kids in the 80s. We were all born in the 70s, but we, were kids in the 80s. Yeah. In the 90s, we were young adults and found ourselves and whatnot. So let's do an 80s this or that.
Okay.
That's it between you two. And I really sort of kind of did this for you two in mind. It's not just a whatever.
Okay.
There's some real right in your wheelhouse kind of stuff, right? So just spit out whatever you want to do here, okay?
Okay.
So let's just start out. Rubik's Cube or Etch-a-Sketch? This or that with those from the 80s?
The Parker here struggled with both because it takes some sort of intellectualness. And I struggled desperately. I'm going to say Rubik's Cube.
It's a tough one. I did master the Rubik's Cube, but I enjoyed Etch-a-Sketch
Did
more.
you?
Yeah.
I remember trying to do like the CN Tower. It looked terrible, just a stick.
I hated both.
Yeah.
I didn't get any of them. I was the kid who got the stickers off of the Rubik's Cube
I get it.
and then putting them back on.
Oh, Johnny.
I'm not proud of it, but that's just the way it was. Transformers or G.I. Joe? Now, I will let you go toys or cartoon.
Wow, great question.
Stupid one.
This was fantastic. Autobots, Decepticons?
Oh, my God.
I love both, but I'll have to say Transformers if I have to pick one because I remember the toy, right? It transformed like a truck into a little, like a guy.
Is that Bumblebee?
Bumblebee, Bumblebee was awesome.
All right.
Yeah, it's cool.
I guess I'll go with that one.
All right, I'm a G.I. Joe guy through and through, right? For a while, it was always G.I. Joe. And then
you like Mandals?
When you kind of got older, you understood that Cobra was pretty rad.
Yeah, Cobra.
And then everything. And the Baroness, that's when Johnny really kind of hit himself and found himself that women, cartoon women, can be just as sexy as real women.
My husband brings me comic books sometimes. He says, look, babe, this looks like you. Am I supposed to be complimented?
If you dyed your hair jet black, put on some glasses, Baroness.
Here, do I have I don't have my glasses.
And I'll tell you, it's a compliment. I'm going to tell you
why.
why.
It really is.
I'm going to tell you why. Because especially in the 80s, I'm going to say even right up to today, they don't make a lot of frumpy female cartoon characters, comic book characters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sure.
They're built for speed.
A-Team or Knight Rider?
What do you think about Shauna? I think she's built for speed. A-Team or Knight Rider?
That's a great one and very difficult. Loved both of those.
Love both of them. Love the show A-Team better, but love Knight Rider, the theme song, better.
Oh, wow.
And
Okay.
Kit. I'm going
Kit.
Knight Rider.
Okay, I'm going to say A-Team. I was a little bit dumb, so I didn't really understand the technology, even though you really should just suspend your disbelief.
Yeah.
I was more A-Team. That was just me. Pac-Man or Donkey Kong?
I was terrible at Donkey Kong. Pac-Man all the way.
Pac-Man.
What about Miss Pac-Man? She was built for speed.
Yeah.
She was always eating.
What were the... Okay, so old Shauna was Miss Pac-Man.
Yeah.
New Shauna is Baroness.
Yeah, that's it.
That's
What were the name of the ghosts?
Inky, Pinky, something
like Clyde.
How do you know they had names?
Yeah, because I was a nerd.
Inky, Blinky,
Yeah, Clyde for sure.
something in Clyde.
So fun.
Huh.
So simple.
I never played video games as a child.
No, I can see that. I'll be honest with you. And listen, I'm not saying that girls didn't play video games,
Yeah.
but I was a young boy in the 80s and the arcades and Nintendo
Yes.
and Sega. There wasn't a lot of girls hanging around us.
No, we had the Wizard's Castle where Ryan and I grew up, and it was very...
Guy.
very
We just started watching my kids love the movie Pixels. So it was on last night again, and they had a scene at the arcade. It was all little dudes.
Yeah,
So-
of course.
Blinky, Pinky, Inky, and Clyde
Nice.
were the ghost names. E.T. or Gremlins?
E.T. all the way. Hate Gremlins.
E.T. all the
all
way.
the way.
I'm gonna say it right now. E.T. Puss, man.
What? The alien was a puss?
The whole thing. He was a puss. The movie's puss. Everything's puss. The big Arsenio Hall finger.
Oh, I'm sorry. He just wanted to go back to
He
his
was
family.
a homesick little pussy. You're right.
That's right, he was.
I'm on Ryan's side. I never thought about it.
Put me in your basket and bike me around.
I'm still going to go with
Loser.
I'm still going to go with E.T. because it's an answer to a trivia question is, what's the first movie Johnny cried to?
E.T.
And it was
Speaking of
E.T..
pusses.
That's right.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I prefer E.T. the extra testicle, which I saw a little bit later on in life. Wow. He had to put the third one in a basket.
The little hood.
He's biking around with 3 testicles.
Golden Girls or Family Ties?
Oh, wow.
How dare you?
Jesus, Johnny. These are hard.
I didn't say they would be easy, and it's just fun.
Golden Girls was sneaky funny.
Guys, it was one of my favorite shows. What was I doing as a 10-year-old kid watching old ladies?
Right.
But it was such a good show.
Yeah. But you said, what was it, Family Ties?
Yes.
It's Family Ties.
Alex
for
P.
me.
Keaton and Mallory and Family Ties.
And Nick.
And wasn't Tom Hanks on drugs or something?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, he
was the
slapped
uncle.
Alex, didn't he?
Yeah, that's right. He was the wacky uncle. Oh, the 80s, eh?
Wasn't Alex on Speed, too?
Oh, yeah, Alex was on Speed. Tom Hanks was violent.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I always thought the Golden Girls was an amazing, if you were working for the Miami Tourist Board,
yeah.
it was the first time where I really like, this is a real happening place.
We actually did it when I was a kid. We went to like Disney and you do like a little like tour around or whatever.
Yes.
And they have some of the homes. And it was like the Golden Girls outside home.
Oh,
or
that's
whatever.
so
Yeah.
cool.
And just a huge property.
Huge
as well.
property.
Just amazing.
There's no way those girls were taken care of.
No.
No. Estelle Getty, what are you going to do? Top Gun or Risky Business?
Whoa.
You just say to yourself this. Which movie has topless volleyball in it?
Oh.
And there's your answer.
Yeah. That's Top Gun.
I don't think I've ever seen Risky Business.
I don't know if I have either.
They're
I
just
have.
both,
It's good.
both Tom Cruise movies. So
Rebecca De Mornay.
Ooh, that's right. I seen that. I saw a movie with her where it was in a gym and she got humped behind like a drapes. Remember that?
Are you still allowed to use that term?
I haven't heard the
Humped?
word humped in so
too.
long.
Oh, sorry. I
You're
thought I
full
was-
80s here.
I thought we were doing the 80s. I'm going to buzz the tower.
I
You got
guess
humped
so.
behind the bleachers?
I'm going to tell you them. I'm going to look it up one day and we're going to come back.
I
and
never knew I had anything in common with Rebecca De Mornay.
Glam rock or
Built for speed, baby.
glam rock or new wave?
Oh, glam rock all the way.
Yeah, glam rock.
Yeah, me too. New wave is dumb. Indiana Jones or Han Solo?
Oh.
Both Harrison Ford characters. Just to get it out of the way, Han Solo.
I'm going Indiana Jones.
Of course.
Indy.
Well, I like whips.
I do remember watching that movie and my dad, I remember the scene where the guy does all the ninja moves
Yes.
or whatever. And then
Yes.
I remember my dad dying watching that.
Sure.
So
They just
funny.
shot him.
He
You
just
know,
shot him.
behind the scenes of why he did that?
No.
He was sick as a dog filming that, and he was supposed to do like
Yeah, no time for that shit.
he says, I'm ending this scene because I can't do the martial arts or whatever he had to do.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to shoot him because I need to stop filming today.
Oh, that's great.
And it ended up being one of the biggest scenes.
I know where Ryan's going to go with this one, I think, but Nintendo or Sega? Ryan was California Games. Like he's not much of a gamer.
Yes, thank you.
But when California Games would come on and you would have to hacky sack and you needed to tag a guy in to beat the score, Rye was always the guy.
Yeah.
Sneaky, really good California Games hacky sack.
Thank you. Sega was my baby. We had the OG original Sega Master System.
Sega. I just did that.
I think 1987, would you say? Somewhere in there. And because before that, the Parkers had a Texas Instrument. That's right. No one else did.
I know because my parents opened a store. A Texas Instrument store. Way to go, Ted and Judy. Guess what? It failed.
Guess what? My dad met your dad in 1984, and your dad sold him on this piece of garbage computer system that nobody would play with. Hey, everyone's like, hey, do you want to play Sega? Do you want to play Super Mario? I'm like, I don't know who Super Mario is, but I'll play Hunt the Wumpus.
That's amazing.
Hunt
you had
the Wumpus. We had one, and then my brother and I got mad because the Parkers always bought the wrong piece of technology.
Always.
And then we finally got the Sega Master System, and then Nintendo was around that same time, but I was hardcore Sega.
Oh, man.
Rainbow Bright or Strawberry Shortcake?
Strawberry shortcake.
Okay.
Rainbow Bright, what was that one again?
similar to Strawberry Shortcake, but
Yeah,
very inferior.
like the GoBots to Transformers.
Yeah,
I think I would also say Strawberry Shortcake.
Yeah.
The scent was
I've
intoxicating.
been
the
looking
scent.
for that scent my whole life. That
Are
strawberry.
you surprised at like a retro? Because you're such a frag head, which
Yeah.
is a perfume
There's
fan.
one very similar,
I bet there is. But
Yeah.
if you could find the exact scent, like it would be money in a bottle.
life
Right?
changing.
Rocky or Rambo?
Rocky for sure.
Okay.
I got to go Rocky, but I will say in the theater, Rambo, whichever Rambo it was, I don't know. But he's in the jungle, obviously.
Yeah.
And the bad guys are coming, whatever. And he disguises himself he puts like mud all over his body. And then the guy's walking by and then just his eyes open. And then he slits that fucker's throat.
Oh,
Let's
God.
go.
I'm going to go with Rambo.
What?
I just don't believe all the Rocky hype.
Can I also see
Because
that?
I just think in the real world, all of Rocky's opponents would have kicked the shit out of him.
That's true.
No way.
Oh my
You
God.
couldn't-
Sly's like 5'4".
Drago.
He's not 5'4".
So, fine, I'll give him 2 more. She's 5'6". Drago would have fucking killed him.
What
No,
does he
because
say?
he had heart.
No.
What does he say about dying? Now you die.
If he dies, he dies.
If he dies, he dies.
And he would have died.
He would have died.
Sorry.
I get it.
can't.
Let's tire him out. I will say what I love about Rambo. In the early days, it's the redheaded guy from CSI Miami or whatever.
Oh, that guy, yeah.
And the other big famous guy who played Chris Farley's dad.
Not that famous. Can't remember.
Remember they like sheriffs and stuff. Anyways,
Oh, yeah. They're like in the town. Yeah.
It's actually in Vancouver, and they actually have like a statue.
It's like
for
in
Rambo.
Golden, BC.
Golden BC, something like that. Anyway, so they're the guy from CSI and Dennehy.
yeah.
They're really treating him poorly.
Yeah.
And they're like kind of rough him up, and then he has these Vietnam flashback. He's like,
Oh, yeah.
and he starts tweaking
Listen.
a little bit, and next thing you know, those guys are knocked out. He stole a motorcycle, and he's out.
I
off
think
to the races.
Rambo would have
I do
beaten
too.
Rocky huge.
Oh, stop.
Oh,
no,
give me a
I'm
break.
hearing
He
none
had
of it.
he got shot like in here in his chest area, his stomach area, and he put like bullet
You
powder on there and
think
lit it up.
Rocky would beat Rambo?
Can I tell you something? I'm going to be honest. I have not seen Rambo because I refuse. Because to me, Sylvester
Okay.
Stallone is so Rocky. I don't want to see him in any other role.
Okay.
So I can't really say whether who would be
Molly Ringwald or Ali Sheedy?
Ooh, if you like that dark alley
That's
Sheedy
it. It's a real juxtaposition as far
Although,
as these
I
two
will say-
actresses go.
Was it 16? Which is the one where he holds up her panties?
That's Molly.
It's decent sized panties. I'm gonna go Molly Ringwald.
Oh, wow.
For the puffy lips.
Do you know?
Allie.
Do you know she auditioned for Pretty Woman?
Oh, that would have ruined the movie.
I know the movie would have just been called Woman.
Wow. Who are you taking here?
Ali Sheedy.
Ali Sheedy? I'm going to go with Ali Sheedy as well.
Of course you are.
I got you, Molly.
You're so punk rock.
Would you rather have a boombox or a Walkman?
Oh man, there's something cool about carrying that thing on your shoulder.
Dude. One of my favorite movies of all time is Do the Right Thing.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Yes.
And the guy would walk around with a boombox all the time, never said a word. And when he would pump out the Public Enemy, like it was just the coolest thing that I'd ever seen in film.
The only thing I had to think
And
about.
I always wanted a boombox to the point where I'm still on Facebook Marketplace looking for one. And not like the pussy RCA ones. Should I have said that? I don't know.
E.T.'s a pussy.
But the real big ones with the double cassette, like the big ass, like 14, 15-inch woofers on it.
Here's the problem. I love it. I'm all with you, except for the amount of batteries that thing takes.
Don't care. I make money now. I'm an adult. I have battery.
that's
I have battery
true.
money now.
He's battery money now. So yeah, you're going with the boombox?
Yes,
It was
guys.
the very first thing I ever bought when I got my first job. It was a huge boombox.
Really?
Yes. So I'm going with that too.
Oh, just to be different, like at the Walkman.
Yeah.
And just kind of crisp.
You could put that,
yellow
put
one?
that on your shoulder.
The yellow one?
Yeah. No, the yellow one was a CD disc, man.
No, they had yellow
no,
Walkmans.
they had
What
yellow.
are you talking
Yeah, we
about?
have one. Mike kept his.
I forgot you guys were rich. Oh, Sony brand name. I had the Texas Instrument version.
You know what's so funny? So funny you say that. Mike pulled it out like the yellow sport.
Yeah.
I said, you were rich. You were
Yeah.
one of those kids. Did you have a ski tag on your winter jacket too all winter long? Idiot.
Wow.
Probably
Varney.
did. Oh, I hated those kids.
That's so nice. Rye,
Yes.
this is kind of more up you because I'm not sure what Sean is going to say about this, but I know that back in the 80s, you were emo before emo was emo.
Right.
The Cure or the Smiths?
Wow, great question. The more you ignore me, the closer I get. You're wasting my time.
I'm going to go with neither.
I know you wouldn't like it. God, you really want to get me emotional. Get me going on.
Oh, why are you so emotional? And you're calling E.T.
I told
a
you.
puss.
I told you. He was emo before emo was the thing.
Yeah.
What's that song? I want somebody to... Oh, that's Depeche Mode.
That's Depeche.
Oh, okay.
I want somebody to share. And then you dance like this.
So,
share the rest of my life. Share my innermost thoughts. Know my intimate
okay, so let me ask you this.
I hope she doesn't feel my boner. Huh?
Let me ask you this. The Cure, The Smiths, or Depeche Mode. Have you ever cried to one of those songs?
Yes.
Okay, now.
I'm going to tell you right now, one of my all-time favorite songs is Just Like Heaven by The Cure.
Okay, now I ask you this. What is more emasculating? Me crying at E.T. or Ryan admitting that he's cried to one of those bands?
You.
Thank you, Shauna.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh,
that's kind of
an
hot.
alien.
Show me how you do that trick. The one that makes me scream, she says. He wrote that for his wife, and they're still married today.
I would like to say that the Dinosaur Jr. version is 100 times better. Anywho. The Lambo or the Ferrari?
Ooh.
When we're talking about 80s this or that, everybody had a poster of the Lambo.
Can it be a Countach?
Of course. I'm sorry. Of course. Is there anything else?
I'll take the Lambo
or
Countach.
the Ferrari Testarossa.
I don't care, so I'll say Ferrari.
You should be dancing on one of them with dry ice all over the place.
Yeah,
Come on, girl.
yeah.
You're built for speed.
I know, but I like a Corvette. I like a Stingray.
Oh, so you like old men?
Yeah, with battery money.
Speaking of built for speed, last question.
Okay.
Kelly LeBrock, Samantha Fox.
Oh, there's not even. You could do the game we do where you just keep rhyming off different women.
Sam would beat everybody.
I'll tell you a quick story.
Estelle Getty, Samantha Fox.
I have an older brother who is more into like the harder music, Iron Maiden, like Eddie Was Everywhere, all that kind of stuff. And he's older, so there was the odd woman in there. And I went in there and I would sneak in when he wasn't around and I'd grab some cassettes and I would grab some stuff, right? Wrestling figures, whatever. Look at his poster.
The LJNs?
Yes. And Eddie used to scare me, to be quite frank. And one day I turned.
Little Ryan.
And little Ryan turned into Throbbing Ryan when he saw that. Throbbing Hood? When he saw.
You could have said so many other things.
Samantha Fox. Something was stewing down there. I didn't know what it was, everyone.
Yeah.
But daddy likey.
Yeah, I guess.
You guess.
I
love
like Kelly.
boobs.
I know, but I like Kelly LeBrock. I like Kelly LeBrock better. I don't know what it was. Samantha Fox, was she really short?
Like 5'1".
Super short.
Yeah.
She could have beaten up Rocky.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Kelly LeBrock as well because I think she had a bit of an edge, and I didn't like Samantha Fox's music.
No.
I thought her choreography
Touch me. I want to feel your body. I'll tell you what
How
I want
come
to do.
all your lead singers sound the same?
Like saying the
Oh,
same.
if you can be the Smiths, Guns N' Roses, or Samantha Fox, you have the same
I need
cadence.
a little patience, yeah. I tell you what I'm gonna do with Samantha Fox. I want to pick her up because she is tiny, and I want to put her in my little basket, in my ET,
my God.
and just bike around with her.
Is there room for her with a testicle?
Okay. Don't go anywhere.
All right.
Yeah, no.
I promised you a guest. We will deliver on the guest soon.
All right, we're having some fun here today, and we've got a very special guest. And never in my life would I have thought, watching you on television for many, many years, that I'd be talking to Kortney Wilson about Samantha Fox's bosom. Rainbow Bright.
That makes two of us.
Yeah, that's right. I've been showing you pictures of all the little starlets I loved in the 80s.
I just had to admit that I didn't know who Samantha Fox was.
You like her now, though.
I like her now, though.
Touch me.
You sold
touch
me on her bosom.
That's right. That's right. Kortney Wilson, Home Network. You got a brand new show called Life is Messy that will be airing shortly. And you've had a whole bunch of different shows. This is what you do, home decor. You make people's life less messy and you make it better and more organized. And
that doesn't mean my own life isn't messy.
No. So let's get into it.
Yes.
Let's get into that. No, for sure. We're going to talk about all sorts of things. We're just going to kind of, ready for this one? Because you asked, you're on our radio show and you said, can you swear on the podcast? I'm going to say, ready for this one? I don't feel like Bad Boys, but I'm going to shoot the shit.
Oh, look at this.
Shoot the shit.
I'm just going to shoot the shit.
My image down the toilet. I just said shit.
Actually,
Yeah, but you like the word shit.
That's the one thing that I think people don't know about me is that I swear a lot. In real life, they're just, sentence enhancers in my world. And in fact, I'm starting a podcast and it's called The Shit Stick of Life.
Really?
Yes.
That's what it's called.
Because in the South, when something bad happens to you, we say, "Oh, honey, you just been hit by that shit stick of life."
Oh, man.
And
It sounds
that's
sweet
what we
when you say it with that
and
accent.
So,
Yeah.
But a lot of people, when I say anything or like I'm bleeping something out on social media, especially something that's worse than shit in their mind, they're like, I cannot believe you just said that. And I'm like, oh man, if you knew me in real life, you would be very disappointed.
Well, I got to think with what you do for a living. Like, I'm sure there's lots of obstacles when you're renovating a home that swearing would just come in nature, right?
Yeah, it does. I mean, I'm not necessarily proud of this. It just is what it is.
Yeah,
like,
right.
I just started swearing one day and I couldn't stop.
Absolutely. So the podcast is called Bad Parents. Kortney, how many kids do you have? Like what's your parental
I'm declaring
status?
3 today.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Makes total sense. Okay.
I
Ages?
have 3 and they are 20, almost 21, 18, and 15.
Wow. So all over.
Yeah,
the
so
place.
they're not babies anymore, which like little kids, little problems, big kids, big problems.
I know.
Hello.
I thought it was going to get easier.
No, it definitely. Every time I see somebody, like just even last night, I was on the plane. I saw people with little babies, and they look stressed out, and I was like, "This is the good part."
Right. But isn't it funny? I don't know if you felt this way because I have 3 kids similar age, or maybe a little bit younger. But when they're younger,
Maybe you're not sure.
Yeah, well, I'm a bad parent. I don't even know if I don't even know if all 3 of them are mine, to be honest. But when they're little and you're running around, it's I would say it's a busier time because you have to keep them entertained. Maybe you don't have a lot of sleep because you're up
more
through the night.
exhausting time for sure.
And then you see parents with like teenagers, and you think, oh my God, what's it like to sleep in? Oh my God, what's it like for them to make their own dinners, whatever.
Yeah.
But then when you get to that age, you realize the problems are actually quite more serious and deeper and harder.
Oh, 100%. I could never have dreamed, like, I mean, I think it's hard to be a teenager anytime in history, but right now it's really hard.
Well,
and a lot of these kids went through COVID and through the pandemic, and so like they missed different ages of development,
right?
That were really integral to us. So like it for sure, it was rough for a couple of years.
They had COVID. We had Samantha Fox.
Yeah,
It's not really
that's right.
fair to them.
For somebody who is so amazing on social media like you are, and really it's an amazing platform to get to know you better. How do you navigate social media with your kids? Like what do you tell them about it?
Yeah, that's a great. Yeah, I mean, listen, anything you put out there now is there forever. So
Yeah.
I'm so sorry about that for your generation, but you can't make mistakes the way that we could, or you can, but you're going to pay a price, and that is really unfortunate because we all made mistakes.
I know.
And we didn't have to pay that price necessarily, right? Out in the public eye. So that's the first, if you don't want it out there just because you delete it, the next day or an hour later doesn't mean doesn't exist. And then as far as I navigate my social media, I have to have boundaries for myself, but also I've protected my kids largely. Like I am kind of an open book in my regular life. Like I could meet anybody on the street and tell them my life story. But on social media, I'm much more protective. In fact, it's taken me this long to do my own podcast because I didn't think they were ready. And the very first 3 people that I asked permission, and I did ask permission, and some people will say, oh my gosh, can't believe you did that. It's your story to tell. I'm a mother first.
Yeah, right.
So I want to tell my story, but I needed their permission to do so. I needed their support.
Well, especially would you agree because of their age? Like there's one thing, like sometimes when your kid's 7 or 8, they love, hey, my dad or my mom talks about me on the radio or a podcast or on television. Yeah. But when they're 16, they're like, I want to live my own life.
Oh, heck yeah. Even on that, we just got back from Mexico and we were all on the plane, and this is just 2 nights ago. And I was going to post about the trip. And my 20-year-old looked over and was like, hey, I need to see all those pictures before you put them out there. I was like, of course. So I handed him the phone. He deleted most of them. As they do. And I was like, oh, okay, fine. I'll take 2. Well,
you just reminded me too, like being on a plane. We flew to Florida a couple years ago, and there was an older gentleman that was kind of behind me. And he was kind of looking at my wife and my 3 kids, and it wasn't weird, but I noticed it. And at the very end, he just said, "Sorry." He goes, "I just want to say I've got 3 boys that are much older, and this has just totally taken me back to when they were that age." And he just gave me the classic, enjoy every moment because it goes by so quick.
Oh
right?
yeah, had a very similar situation way back when I had only 2 kids. I think we were expecting Lennox, but Lennox was via adoption, and I had 2 basically toddlers. And I was going through the mall, and they were both having temper tantrums. And this old man said, "You're going to miss this," and I wanted to punch him in the face.
Oh, I know.
Right? Like I was like, "You're kidding me? This is the moment you choose?" And now I get it.
Yeah.
It has gone by so freaking fast.
Yeah.
And I would give anything to go back to that time.
It's like that as well. And when it's us talking, Shauna has the oldest at 17, and then Rye's got 3 kind of in the middle, and I have 6 and 4. Right? We're 49 years old, and and I try to say to my wife, who's a little bit younger than me,
a little bit
younger than me.
She just started driving.
I'll tell you right now, Kortney, if she went to visit you in Nashville, she can't go to the bar.
So I say, it's a little bit tougher being 49 with
he
kids.
has 3 kids.
That's right, yeah.
That are like 6 and 4, and when I hear Shauna and Ryan and your story as well about kids and quickly, and I really try to, especially in the tough times, like I try to really kind of take it all in because I know it's not going to last. Next Wednesday, we're going to Mexico as well. And I feel like my trip will be a lot different than your trip with my kids.
Yeah.
Right? You're on the beach having maybe a cocktail with them where, I, might, who knows, right?
Yeah.
So it's a real nice when you hear the experiences of other people.
Well, you can appreciate it more. You now know that, okay,
exactly.
it's fleeting. This isn't going to last forever. And, I'm going to settle into the moment.
Sure.
And that's, I think what these podcasts really have helped everybody out, or where you hope. I mean, you're not going to truly get it until you're sending your kids off to college. But you can at least try to be in the moment and be patient in those times. Yeah.
Speaking of college, so you're from Canada. You were kind of, like you mentioned, you're kind of born and raised here, and then eventually went down to the States for 20-odd years. Now you're in Nashville?
27 years.
27?
Well, over half my life, yes.
What's that Nashville hot chicken like? Is that good?
Well, so you're talking to the wrong person. I'm vegetarian. But I hear it's great, and my husband and my kids are all about it. For sure, when you come to Nashville, don't just try the hot chicken. It's the first thing that people go to.
Yes.
But Nashville's a food mecca. So, like, it's one of the best places to eat in North America, like as far as food. There are so many amazing restaurants. Every celebrity chef has opened up a restaurant there.
Yeah.
I want to go so badly.
Hard to survive. And you can go to a meat and 3 and it'd be incredible, and you can go to a 5-star dining and it can be incredible.
So I've spent 24 hours in Nashville, Tennessee. We were on our way back from Myrtle Beach.
23 too many.
Exactly.
We went downtown.
Exactly. So on our way back from Myrtle Beach, we said we have an extra day. Do you want to drive through Nashville? Which is not on the way back. We really had to go out of our way to go to Nashville. So I spent 24 hours. I'm going to go through with you what I did in 24 hours. And am I a Nashvilleian?
Okay.
Okay.
I'm voting here? Yes.
You can tell me if I was too touristy or I actually did something Nashvilleian.
Okay.
Oh. I went to the Loveless Cafe.
You're Nashvilleian.
Okay.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I thought
that's
the
a
biscuits,
Nashville staple, and I would still go there myself.
Okay, so
is
it's
it kind
not
of off the beaten track
Yes.
then? Okay.
Yes.
I was surprised at how off the beaten path.
Yes, it's
it
off the
actually
beaten track, but it's a staple.
I went to the Johnny Cash Loretta Lynn Museum.
You're for sure a tourist.
Okay,
but
all right.
that doesn't mean that, Nashvilleians haven't been there at some point, but we might go to a wedding there versus a...
Sure.
Yeah, John.
I went to the Nashville Ink Tattoo, walked in and got a tattoo.
Wow, that's very adventurous.
Yeah.
And you live to tell about it, so congratulations. I'm not really sure. Is that downtown?
It's just off Broadway. I'm going to be honest with you. I walked in the first place that said walk-ins.
Okay, so you're
It
a
happened
tourist.
to be Nashville Ink. Okay.
You almost had it,
You
Johnny.
you just gave yourself away.
All right. I went to Goo Goo Clusters.
Okay, so that's a Tennessee tourism spot. Nobody
Okay.
eats Goo Goo Clusters unless they're coming there.
Okay.
Now, there's also moon pies, which out in War Trace, Tennessee, about an hour and a half away, they have like the Moon Pie Festival. That would be a little bit more local.
Okay.
Yeah.
I bought a T-shirt at Ernest Tubbs Record Shop.
I'm going to actually say that people in Nashville would do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
a little
amazing
touristy, but it's
building.
also, again, the old Nashville was the little big town, we called it. So we still embrace that.
But the history in that building,
Yes.
I think, makes it say that
That's
it's
correct.
Nashvilleian. It's
Yep.
not just a pop-up shop.
That's
It's
right.
like legit. I went honky-tonking on Broadway.
So both, you're a tourist first and
Yes.
foremost, but I had all of my cousins. We did a first cousins trip, my first annual this past summer, because our parents' generation kind of messed it all up for us, and we just like all lost connections. We were like, this next generation's going to get it right. So I did it. And I was a tourist in my own city. So we did the Pedal Tavern and all the things.
Yeah, that's cool. You drinking pedal.
Oh my goodness. It was so fun. So I was a tourist in my own city, but definitely touristy. Honky Tonk's going to be tourist.
Okay. Totally unplanned. Showed up. Something was happening at Bridgestone. Okay.
Yeah.
It was Tim McGraw and Faith Hill that night.
What?
Bought one ticket for my mother-in-law
No
to go.
way.
She says it was amazing. Got to see Tim McGraw and Faith Hill at Bridgestone Arena in Nashville on a Saturday night.
Wow.
Well, I mean, Bridgestone is our arena where we see concerts. So I'm going to say the fact that you went the way that you went very last minute is not
Yes.
tourist.
Okay.
All
All right.
You're doing well, Johnny.
Just so you know, the very first concert that I ever saw in Nashville before I moved there was Tim and Faith.
There you go.
And now I have one of their signed guitars on my wall because in Nashville, when you throw a fundraiser, everybody's in the music industry. So there's like guitars signed by all the artists. So every time we go, I buy a guitar that's signed by another artist and put it on my wall.
That's
That's
amazing.
cool.
Oh,
That's so good. So am I a Nashvilleian?
No.
Okay, all right, not. Okay.
You're not
Dude, you
super
got a
touristy.
tattoo in
All right,
Printer's Alley,
okay.
it sounds like. So
Fair
no.
enough, fair
but
enough.
you, I'm going to embrace you as a friend.
Perfect.
go.
I'll
Yeah,
take
so
that.
you're my friend.
Yes.
But I visited Nashville now, but yes. And you did it better than most tourists.
Thank you.
I don't know how you crammed all that into 24 hours.
gonna say,
Yeah, you might be a robot, actually.
I'm telling you, it happened.
Kortney Wilson is with us from Home Network, and you got a show called Life is Messy. I got a game for you, real quick one. This
Okay.
is one thing. It's
I like
called
games.
It's called Weird or Not Weird. Okay?
Oh no.
I'm going to show you. Hold on a second. I'm going to show you my.
Is there a weird button?
No. I'm going to show you Weird or Not Weird that this is my screensaver.
Is that true?
It's true.
It's just you and me hanging out, having a good time.
Not weird.
Look at that. We look like we're having fun.
A little
So-
weird, but not weird because I'm so honored. That is so sweet.
weird or
But
not
I don't know if you're telling me the truth.
Weird or not weird that I noticed that your hair is shorter than you've grown it out.
Oh, that's fake. The magic of Brian, the hairstylist, put in a little bit of an extension today.
At the beginning of the podcast, we said we were having a very special guest on. At the end of the podcast, I said, here's a little sneak peek. Rye, show your screensaver to the camera.
Oh,
Within
my
2
gosh.
seconds, he brings it up.
I'm actually honored. That's really
thank you.
sweet.
Thank you very much.
That's really sweet.
Well, I will say, all jokes aside, we work at a radio station. We do this podcast, and we have a bunch of functions where radio and television people kind of hang out. And there's a little bit of a difference between TV personalities and radio personalities. As you've got to know us, we're insane. And
Which side?
yeah, and so you were like kind of hanging around, you were mingling, and you were just really cool. I said, my wife's a big fan, and then you called her and FaceTimed her and stuff like that. So we took that picture
remember
then, and
that,
it was
yes.
it was a lot
No.
of fun. So you're just a regular person who
I am.
happens to be on TV, who happens to have a million shows.
And are you casting for Life is Messy?
Yeah, well,
in
I am
here?
not casting, but yes, we are casting for the show right now in the Toronto area.
That's so cool.
And so, yeah, we're still casting. People can still go. And it's not the type of show, like in previous years, you'd need a lot of money, right? Major renovations, like 6 figures type stuff. This is not like that. So, you know.
So there's a chance.
Oh
for
my gosh, this
Ryan.
is a huge chance for everybody. I feel like this is literally the show for everybody.
Oh,
where,
that's awesome.
Everybody's got chaos, and sometimes that like bleeds into your life, whether it's a husband and wife, husband and husband, single mother, widow, whatever it is. And you just need help to get yourself back on track. You need
Yes.
somebody to sort of like crack the whip and say, let's go.
Yeah.
So I'm the whip.
Oh wow.
I like it.
That's great.
Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh my
thank
gosh,
you.
guys, I'd love to come back.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank
How
you so
about
much
this?
for having me.
How about this? We go to Nashville.
Oh my gosh.
And we do a pedal tavern.
Let's
Party.
okay. Can we do the podcast from the pedal?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay,
You
y'all
start
should
off-
know that I get drunk after one drink.
What's your drink? What's your go-to?
Well, any drink will get me drunk,
Yeah.
but usually a spritzer.
A spritzer.
Yeah.
Spritzer.
Same with me. How's that? We both are great
Yeah,
singers. We both love spritzers.
The only difference is
And we both have our screens grab of each other.
Weird. Wouldn't it be
weird.
weird? Wouldn't it be weird if you're like, hey, that's funny you say that. I met you 3 months ago. Look at my screensaver. Too funny. Kortney Wilson, thank you so much. We're going to do this in Nashville.
Thank you.
Whoever pays the bills, we're going to Nashville.
Yes,
All right. We'll put the show on the
absolutely.
road. And thank you so much for joining us. Good luck with your new show, Life is Messy. You can check Kortney out on the Home Network and